don't. This is why I always start just super awkward in front of a camera.
Look at the camera with my,
And we're going.
my cup in my
Hello,
hand.
everybody.
Hi.
How's it going today?
Hi, good. That's what we don't do. Sorry. Yeah, this whole camera thing.
Yes.
We don't know if you're talking to them or to us.
It's more of a discussion, and they're fly on the wall.
Okay, fly on the wall.
We're not really
Yes.
talking to them at all.
Okay.
They're just listening.
All right.
Yes.
As creeps.
Welcome to episode 5. This time for real.
Yeah, this week's 5. Last week I said 5 and it was not. Last week was 4. This week's 5.
Yep. Of BJJ Marriage
Mhm.
podcast with Nick Lee and Brittany Lee, your hosts.
Yep. And then we have some guests today. Hi guys. Introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Ellie, but that's not really my name.
I'm
Thank you,
Joe.
thank you, Brett, for that.
We changed your name.
Yeah, literally.
But Ellie's
I
a
said
4-stripe
Joe.
blue. And then,
Oh, one straight blue.
okay, this is Joe.
I said Joe.
Oh, I'm saying it again. How long have you guys been married?
Oh, shit.
Almost-
13 and a half?
Almost 14
Almost
years
14
and
years.
about 4 or 5 months.
Didn't know there'd be a quiz today, did you?
No, not really.
Oh, that's fun. So
How long have you guys
today,
been training together
Oh.
though? I just started. I just wanted to start.
Well, I dragged him to neutral ground 6 or 7 years ago.
There
And
was
then
some
it was-
scheduling issues.
Yeah, so neither one of us trained very, very frequently while we were there. So he didn't start religiously training with me, and I didn't start religiously training until Fluid.
Okay.
And then even then, it was probably what, you were a year behind, I think? A year
I was
behind?
I was
A year
roughly
behind
a
me?
year behind.
There
when
was
we
a
did it.
lot of pushback originally from him to even come train. A lot.
Third shift, the idea of going to class and then going to work was tough.
But you also had that hurdle you had to get over of, well, I'm not in shape enough to train jiu-jitsu, which is not true. Which is not true.
How often do we hear that from a whole lot of
Yep.
people?
So
That happens
many
all the
excuses.
time.
All
Yes.
the time.
You're never going to be ready for jiu-jitsu unless you're training jiu-jitsu, and even then,
I
you're
was
still
gonna say,
going to
even
get
then
your
you're not
butt
ready.
kicked. It does
Always.
not matter.
Yeah.
Just come to class.
yes,
Pretty
it's fun.
much.
Plus, the more you learn, the less in shape you need to be.
Yep.
Well,
I
moral
mean-
of the story.
I mean, really.
All right.
I use less strength now.
Once
than
you
I
start,
did
you
when
can just
I
get fat. It's
started.
cool.
Just let it all go.
You see all those black belts with those little pot bellies? That's why. I'm not calling out anybody in particular.
I was
Mike
waiting
Coy,
for
I
him to
love
do it.
you.
Yeah, that's
Whoa.
it. I'm like, oh, Mike's going to kill him. He's going to kill him.
No, he's probably just sitting there like, yep, this is me.
It's called extra mass.
Yeah. Hey, whatever, it helps him in his mount position.
Yeah, it does.
It just shows that they're advanced enough to learn how to murder people without using the rest of their body.
Yeah.
Very true.
Just at will, like,
Yeah.
I'll do this now.
Mhm.
Yes.
What were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say I don't remember anymore.
Okay, that's cool.
Yep.
So, how was your guys' week training? Let's vlog a little bit about our week. Yep.
Vlog.
Well, this is a
Yeah.
vlog.
A video vlog is a vlog.
Oh my God.
Vlog. Is that a millennial
Kids
term?
these days. All right. Well, I've had a busy week. For me, it's going to be like an 11-day block without. I get like one break somewhere in there.
Okay.
From training, so I'm feeling it right now,
Mhm.
and then I'm also running probably too much every day because I try to hit my max run time every morning, first thing when I get up.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then I run a few miles before coming to class because I'm able to work out at work, and I don't always
Right.
get here on time, so I usually miss part of the warm-up. And I have found that every single time I come to class and I'm not warmed up, I get injured.
Ah.
Every single time. So I now religiously run, and I might do some either core, like body weight stuff, or I will do some light weights just to make sure that everything's moving
Yeah.
properly before
Yeah.
coming to class.
Yeah, that's very important. Because you don't want to get injured, because then we can't do jiu-jitsu
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah,
Talked about that
we
in
still
class.
do jiu-jitsu just
Yeah.
with injury.
Yes. You can't do it the way you want to.
Right.
And then
How
you're
many
like,
injuries did we get this week? One big one, one bad one?
Oh,
Yep,
oh, that's me.
Yeah, her.
Steve,
Yeah.
Steve, you're dead to me, Steve.
oh no.
You have no idea what you ruined last night. It
Which-
just was, Steve.
Which brings up the interesting point that if a male
Not
takes
good.
a knee to the crotch and it crushes that ball, you're gonna throw up while you're in pain. Like there's
I
an
did not
added
throw
bonus.
up.
And without a
Like there's an
testicle.
added bonus. But the females,
Steve
they're
might have
in
threw
pain,
up.
but they don't
He
throw up.
Steve clearly felt bad. Like he knew how hard he hit me,
Yeah.
and I couldn't even form sentences. All I could do was growl. That's all I can do.
For those of you who are unaware, Steve took a knee straight to Ellie's groin this week, and it was very...
It was very high impact.
It was
Yeah.
okay. So it was kneecap, soft tissue, bone. That's all it was, and it was like a full on. I could not. It was bad.
Yep.
It was bad.
Basically, injuries happen all the time, and I don't think a warm-up would have helped that.
No.
The impact stopped the whole gym. We heard a and then everybody in the gym went, what?
It was not good.
But all my injuries of late have been really non-jiu-jitsu related. So I got the Madford, which is healing
That was
great.
definitely
Oh.
jiu-jitsu
Ooh.
related.
It's really healing good because it used to go all the way down to the toes. So that's doing way better.
Yep.
That's from dodgeball warm-up.
Oh, that's true.
So that's not jiu-jitsu. It was dodgeball
But
warm-up.
my
it's
goodness.
because he was charging the line to tackle me.
Yeah, see,
That's
it's
why.
jiu-jitsu dodgeball. Going through the balls is stupid. The key is you just run up and you just grab the person so they can't even reach the ball.
Then I
so you
have
just
the
So-
ball and I'm bouncing it off his face, and he still won't get off the mats because he says I didn't throw it at him.
Hey, you have to throw it in dodgeball. This isn't tag.
So would you say that you have a competitive edge against each other?
Oh, I'm super mean to him here. I'm so mean to him here. Like, on purpose.
How does that translate into rolling?
I think even when couples are being careful, it is very difficult for couples to roll with each other. I think there is a much higher probability of someone getting injured when couples roll with each other because they're your spouse. Just unconsciously, you're treating them differently, and they're
Yes.
responding to you differently, and they will roll with you differently.
Because you know their stupid face didn't pick their underwear up off the floor, so you really don't care about not smashing them into the mat. So,
But
it's like,
and part of it might be is like if I'm rolling with Nick or Brittany, I'm not worried about like a sharp pointed knee or an elbow going to my midsection or
I'll
something
do
like that.
that.
But
I will do that.
but with her,
for
it's
5
like
minutes straight in a row, I will do that.
So I'm going to tend to not leave myself as open to strikes in a non-striking sport.
I have hit him before. I have done that.
No fish hooks though, or I got
I'll
There is
fish
fish
hook.
hooks.
I'll fish
Yes.
hook.
Yes, there's also fish hooking.
it. Okay, what's off the table? Let's start there.
Titty twisters are on too.
Oh my god.
That's really mean.
Yeah. Really, I'm not comfortable being on my back with her, whereas with everyone else I am. So it changes.
So oil checks is where you draw the line.
Oh, yeah, we don't oil check.
No, we don't do that.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
She has limits. She also gets really upset if I use my feet,
Oh God, feet are gross. And
Which
his
is-
feet are really
which
gross.
for me is rough because
What do
I
you
use my
mean
feet.
using your feet? Because you like to fly up
Yeah,
and like to
no,
throw your feet in the
she
armpits.
doesn't.
I
she
will
doesn't-
bite him.
Yeah.
Oh.
She
Keep your
absolutely.
feet away from me. They're
Yeah.
gross.
Like him specifically or anyone?
Oh, like I don't care for feet in general. He knows his feet gross me out. He's got like
Okay.
monkey toes.
So he's using it against you.
He's got
Got
monkey
it.
toes.
When I was a much younger and
don't
lighter
don't
man,
tell the story.
when I
Don't
was
tell
like-
the story.
when I was
Don't
like
tell
10
it.
or
It's
12,
not a normal
We love
story.
stories.
there was clotheslines in my backyard.
Oh, God, fuck.
My toes are actually have enough grip strength and long enough that
This
I
is
could
going
hang
on the
upside down
internet.
from them.
This is
What?
going-
I
What?
could actually
I
wrap
love it.
them on a clothesline and hang.
So you're part bat.
I was
He could never hang from a clothesline. He's full of shit.
like 6th
Are you
grade.
look at him. He never hung from a clothesline.
I was a
ever.
lot smaller in 6th grade than I am now.
Then what you need to do is get a clothesline for Hunter and Mason to practice on.
No.
I don't know how long their toys are if they got that same
Toys.
thing. Toys.
I don't know how long their toys are.
Toes.
Monkey toes.
Hunter and Mason are their kids. For those
Yeah.
of you who are watching and don't know, how old are they?
Hunter's 13, and Mason is 9 and
but
a
it'll be
half.
10 in May.
And they both train.
Yep, we had to do this as a whole family.
Yeah.
It's a whole family
So-
event.
Yeah, with us having kids, that was the other problem when we started at Nutriground, and love Nutriground. It has nothing to do with them. It had everything to do with our schedule at home, and we were literally on opposite schedules for
Yeah.
a decade. On opposite schedules.
Yeah,
we were
'cause
lucky if we
neutral-
saw each other once a month
Because
if we had a day
when
together.
did Neutral Ground Roll start? Was that at 8 or was
I
it
don't
at 7?
remember, but it was on the other side of town
I had to
too.
be at work by 10 p.m. So I would, as soon as class was up, I would have to leave right away, go home, shower, work.
And
Right.
I would be driving to the babysitter to pick up the kids.
Yeah.
And then I had to get up early for
It
work.
just-
it was
Sounds
a
stressful.
nightmare. It
Yeah.
sucked.
Yeah.
It was awful. So we actually walked away from jiu-jitsu because the work schedule was bad enough. And then I ended up getting stability at work, and the kids got a little older where we could now, okay, now you guys are training. you guys are training with.
You come
so,
with us.
It was a bit of a drive,
So it removes,
too.
yeah, it was. This was much
we're going
closer.
to Bayview.
As soon as we heard that Brent was opening up a gym and it was located in the in the Greenfield area, it was something that we're like, okay, we're gonna make the move.
That's easier. Yeah. Okay, how did they roll together, Hunter and Mason?
They try to kill each other too.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said
It's
similar.
very much a family thing.
Seems to be a common thread. Like once you know someone in jiu-jitsu and you're comfortable with them, you just roll differently. I
But
would say.
it's not the same with like, your close training partners. You guys typically have like a good edge against each other, but you don't treat them the same
Right,
way
I
you do
totally roll
family.
with respect with both of you guys, 100%.
Not with Joe.
No, I don't drive my elbows into that little bundle next to your jaws.
I don't
That's
do.
him.
I won't do wrist locks on her.
Okay.
You can't do wrist locks on me.
Oh.
I won't try to do wrist locks on her
You can't.
because
Fighting words.
You can't.
because I know of the amount of wrist injuries she's had in the past,
Okay.
and so
Sorry,
I'm
I'm
not
not
comfortable
running.
with doing it because I don't have the finesse she does for it in the first place.
Sure.
And usually, even when I'm doing it in live rolling, it's more of a to get someone to move or do something.
Yeah, it's good.
Even affirm. Yeah, I feel like you're very squished. But
Yeah, but I was just gonna say, like the closest people I train with are like Tyler and Dave, and we hear each other much less than
Oh my
Brittany and I
God.
do.
There's an I have an exception to this. There's one other person in this gym that I intentionally try to hurt while rolling, and he returns the favor, and it's Dave. we are
But you're
mean
both
to each other.
masochists when you roll.
We are mean to each other, and we do it on purpose.
That's great. And Dave has like a whole prep at some points where he's managing to tape up every
Yeah,
joint
from
he
across
has on
the
his
room,
body.
he's taping up his wrist and he's just smiling. Hello, Ellie.
Dave and I often talk about who our favorite roles are, like our top 5, and you're always in it. So you're apparently not hurting him that bad.
I love it. I love it.
But like you said, they're masochistic, sadistic, whatever.
Well, I think it has more to do with we know how someone's going to apply pain to us in a tournament,
Oh yeah.
and
More
we don't want to
realistic.
be shocked by that. We also want to find where all those points are because it's a tournament. You're not my training partner. I'm going to use mean stuff on
Yeah.
you. I'm
Right.
sorry. It's
Yep.
as I've been told, I roll by prison rules when it comes to that. Nutriground used to tell me I did prison rules just because I did wrist locks.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
Ellie's the wrist lock queen.
I'm not.
Here at
I'm
the
not.
method.
I
She
play
is.
with them.
She really is.
Yeah, she's
I
more like the
dabble.
Messiah.
She's
Wrist
incredibly
locks.
modest about it.
No, I'm not.
She's the messenger.
I'm
She
not,
brings
I'm
awareness
not.
to wrist locks.
Yep.
I'm
And then
not
there's
all of those
Hobby,
things.
who also likes wrist locks.
Hobby's mean.
But,
Hobby's mean.
but Hobby's style
Hobby's a bully.
is different. Hobby's like a small viper.
Oh my God, we were just talking
Everything-
about this. If we
everything-
had to compare Hobby to any animal, it would be a viper. We were literally talking about
It's
this.
all very quick, very hard,
Yes.
very sudden movements.
Like
Very.
a-
It's not
very much
flowing
so.
or anything. There is like an impact with each movement.
He'll
he
give
does.
you very, very light resistance, and all of that is just part of his he's trying to lull you into this sense of it. Really, it is.
I don't
He's
know.
lulling you into it, and then
Yep.
he strikes, and when he does, if it's a submission, it's gonna hurt. It's
Like
gonna hurt.
I'm so much bigger than him. So when he
I
is
have
going
big
to
rolls
pass
with
my
him.
guard
Yeah,
or
it's
something,
fine.
he will like practically cling to me and just wait for a moment and it's a very sudden movement when he moves. He doesn't do anything slow pressure or anything like that. It's always like clinging to
Very
me to the point
athletic,
where I can't
yep.
get him off. And
Mhm.
then all of a sudden he'll move really quickly to the next
Mm-hmm.
spot.
Yeah.
Hobby's a purple belt here at Fluid. He's like, what, 170, I would say?
Yeah.
Maybe a little more with muscle.
Yeah, around
He
there.
works out a lot, but he's a very fun roll, and that's who we're talking about for those who don't know.
We've been having more chess match rolls, him and I, and we both feel the danger from each other while rolling. And I think it's so funny because we'll both start giggling.
Danger.
We'll both I'm in danger. Like while we're rolling, it's just very much like we can feel the cues from each other because we both play wrist locks, and it's pretty funny.
And she's quick, but it's not like Viper. It's like more flow quick. So she'll go to
So
a
catch
move,
something and
but it's not like that
So like
instant
a
hard
snake?
strike.
Because the snake kind of just like
I
creeps
don't
up,
have
and then
a-
it's
I don't have an animal.
you're
I
a
don't have
snake.
an
I'm
animal.
gonna call you a snake.
A snake?
Yeah, because they just like kind of creep and they flow and they move, and then I don't know where
I
you're
don't know
getting
how
bit.
else to say it other than she'll
Can I
quickly
respectfully
transfer from one
request a
thing to
mammal?
the other.
Like,
You really want
What
to
kind of mammal do you want to
I
be?
don't know. I don't get to pick. I can't pick. So
You can pick your mammal.
I don't
it's
see.
okay.
I don't see how I get. No, snake doesn't make sense.
so she doesn't get to pick.
But she'll flow into her next move. It's always like there's always a transition for her, and it's not like a robotic movement. It's a
Yes.
very flowing movement. to
Unless it's
something
with you.
else.
Unless it's with you.
Unless it's with me,
And
in
then
which
it's like-
case it's knee drops to the gut, elbows. I mean, yeah.
Train with your spouse. I swear, it's really
It
fun.
is
We're
actually
just not-
fun. But okay, for the record, it's not always like that.
No.
Like yesterday, we had awesome rolls. Neither one of us was trying to hurt the other one. We were just.
It
moving
really
around.
depends
It
on
was
the
fun.
day, like when you're
Yes.
with your spouse. Honestly,
Yeah.
like if you're mad at each other, then
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
go kill them. But at the same time, like, what?
When are you mad
Oh,
at me?
listen here, Mr. Perfect.
Listen, what's crazy is I do not bruise easily. Like I can feel like the pain in a sore spot, but it will never come to the
Oh
surface.
boy, you get bruised.
She is the only one who has managed to bruise me.
I know where all the tender bits are.
But no,
That's
I was
perfect.
thinking, and I think we've said this in the past too, is that when you're rolling with your spouse, just because you do live together, you do have a dynamic lifestyle together, as a dynamic duo at home, you're always trying to like even out the playing field at home of who wears the pants and in what situations, who does what chores, who does this, like you have that balance together. So when you're on the gym and you're on the mats and you're just actually trying to be together, you're kind of trying to figure out who's the king of the mat on that point.
Which is really not very healthy.
No.
Actually, honestly, if you want to talk like healthy marriage, right? Which we are not. But if you wanted to talk about a healthy marriage, you should be trying to better the other person all the time, which is not really something that we do. It's not really something we do.
Put a shirt
we have-
on.
we have a-
Did you clean that
Oh,
up
you
yet?
missed it.
Oh yeah, you did
Right
miss that
before
before.
this started.
Joe forgot
Oh,
his
my
rash
God.
guard, and he comes walking up without it, and I sent him back without his
All
shirt.
the hair, and I
He
was
was
like, go put a
rejected.
shirt on. And I was like, he doesn't need to. And she's like, oh, yes, he does. I'm married to it.
Because it would be mortifying for her, for people to see me without a shirt.
Well, it would be mortifying for me if people saw me without a shirt on. So I mean, it's. I'm thinking about you.
We're not
I
wearing
like
pants
seeing
right
you.
now.
We're not. I'm not wearing any correct pants.
We
right
both
now.
said that this is our
It's
first
weird.
time not wearing pants underneath our pants, and it's very awkward. It's a very weird feeling. Like
I have to have athletic
See,
shorts on.
I've
am
done
not
it, like,
wearing, I'm not
once.
wearing any.
And I don't-
I don't like it at all.
I've never found that to be a comforting thing, wearing like, rash guard pants or any sort of like thing like that. I don't
You're
like
not
that.
flying around like we do.
I live in
Whoa.
leggings.
It's like you
Like, I
take a
live in
match
that.
head and you just psh, right off the mat, and that's going to be your skin. It's just not enjoyable.
Also,
It's
my
not-
Yeah,
pants
well-
don't stay
It gets
tied
burning.
ever. Every time I roll, I feel like my pants
Yeah.
fall off, and like I don't need to just be showing
I
up
find
all
that
the time.
depends
You're
on the
welcome.
brand of
Ellie
pants.
takes my pants off.
Some of my gi pants work real. Like these gi pants are my favorite. They provide
Yeah.
the most flexibility and they stay on. But then I got another Elite gi, and it's a different color. It's like a completely different set of pants. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, some are competition gis, some are like casual gis, lightweights, all that different stuff.
Nobody goes and advertises their gi as, hey, this is the one you want because it's the most comfortable.
No, you bought it because it was $40. I don't know why you're complaining.
Wasn't that a
$40?
present?
Let's be real.
Wasn't that one a present for his blue belt?
That one might have been.
This
That one might have been. Yeah.
That's why. That's why
Why
it
do you
feels
remember
better.
that? I don't remember.
Feels
Shit,
better
I-
because
Wow.
it was bought with love.
Wow. Yep.
You're-
It was-
you're
that's
so
what it
into
was.
me right
Here,
now.
You need a gi that fits you better. Wear this. That's what it was. It was not. See, no. It's not all about the love. It's about, listen, you need to dress like an adult today. I bought you this. That's what this was.
Okay, that works.
So what would you guys say is your favorite part about rolling together? Like we went through all the bad and like all the
When we get a good roll going, it's fun. It is fun. Maybe a little too much fun, but it's fun because
Whoa.
then you
We're not
actually.
talking about at home. We're talking about at the gym.
I am talking about it at the gym. So I
Oh my
would
God.
say like yesterday for sure, like when you start recognizing that your spouse is like actually improving and that you can also feel your own improvement in that time, like it's not a competition in that moment. And it's cool when that happens because then you both know that, you're all this is working.
Yes, you learned something.
Yes.
somehow
Oh.
all this magic is sticking in your brain.
Or then you'll be watching some TV laying in bed and you think she wants to hold your hand, but in reality she just wants to wrist lock it while you're trying to cuddle.
That happens every day.
I think last night we started cuddling and he like curled up
can't
next
help
to me
it.
and he curled his neck or his face inside my neck and I was just like, I can't let you take my back like this. It was like midnight and we're trying to go to sleep.
You can't help it though. You just can't when you
You
both train-
definitely could help it.
No, you
You
can't
have
help it.
fished for it.
You can't help
Yeah,
it.
but
Like
that's just
when you
a habit.
feel it there, you just have to lock it.
You
Just
can't
let
ignore
go.
it.
You're gonna let go of it, but you just have to lock it up.
Just bring awareness to know that it can
Yeah,
happen.
it's important. Like,
Yep.
you need to know that you're in
Yep.
danger right now. That's
Dangerous.
I'm ferocious, and you should
Oh, yeah.
respect that. That's it is.
As a mammal, you are ferocious, okay?
So what? A platypus?
Oh my god.
No, pangolin.
Pangolin is
Not a mammal.
actually it might be a mammal. Pretty
Is
sure
it a mammal?
pangolin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pangolin is a
They're a mammal.
It is. They just
Nick Lee, look it up.
Oh shit! Yeah,
That's me.
you are that guy. For a second, I was going to say that too. You're Joe Rogan's whatever his name is.
Yeah, Jamie.
Jamie. Yes, Jamie.
Yeah.
Jamie, look this up.
I can look it up. Yes, I'm pretty sure a penguin is a mammal.
I'm pretty sure they are too. Well, you know the reason why I went like, oh, pangolins are cool. It's gonna
First search result, is a pangolin a mammal? The answer is, are mammals.
Yep.
Okay, see, you can be a penguin.
All
there you go.
just.
You used to use turtle a lot more.
I
though,
still
and
no.
you-
I still use turtle a ton. Probably too much.
I don't think
honestly.
you use it as much as you used to.
Yes, I do. I use it more now than I ever did before
You
because I'm
don't
always
turtle
using
with
it.
me.
Why would I? That's a horrible idea. Do not
Yeah,
turtle
anytime I
with
turtle
somebody
with
this
you, it's-
size.
Every
Tough.
time somebody turtles with me, all I can think of is remember those like Kinder eggs out of the machine? It's like somebody's
No.
just
No, what
gifting
are you
them.
talking about?
No,
You
what
know,
are you talking
no,
about?
they're
No.
these little eggs you can buy, and you open them up, and there's a prize inside.
Why would they be?
So like an Easter egg?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like an Easter
Why are you
egg from
calling
like a
it
vending
Kinder
thing.
egg?
Anyways,
I've heard that
it's
term.
like somebody gifted me a present. It's like, what do you want to do to me when you do that?
Whoa.
When you put yourself in turtle,
Yeah, I'm not gonna turtle and see what
when you go, it's like I don't have to worry about you moving or zipping around the floor. You're just going to stay perfectly still for me to decide how to attack you. I absolutely love it.
That's funny.
Yeah, well,
Interesting.
I've got
I like
one
turtles.
turtle, so.
I like turtles.
From turtle, I normally like to just completely sit out and just regard.
Yeah, that's what I
That's
use.
very
it
hard
for.
on you.
But we don't.
But
Yeah.
if you're in turtle, I don't know.
No.
I guess I'm thinking
If
not being
you-
under a giant man.
If
Right.
you turtle on me, I will
Welcome to
I
my
will
life.
get my grips and I will bowl you over. Because I mean, like this knee is going to just drive in no matter what.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I use turtle against you to regard.
Yeah.
That's it.
Did you work with that turtle
Transition
armbar
position.
that he showed from Brazil? Did you ever work with that? He
Yeah,
posted
yeah,
the
we did
video
that.
for it, and then he showed
Us
it in
three
class.
did it
I don't know.
together,
Were
I
you
remember.
here?
I remember that stuff.
I don't know if I do it or not.
I could just see you doing that.
I
since you like to
know
play with
I
turtle.
know I have been playing with armbar stuff more of late than I ever used to. I never enjoyed doing armbars because for me, you know, the traditional one where you're kind of like sitting back and everything.
You gotta
it's a
sit
bit.
on
I'm
someone.
slow. It's a big risk. They go out. There's
Yeah,
no
it's
chance.
actually
I'm
easy to escape an armbar from him when he does that.
now that's changed somewhat, and Nick can even see how the last time I rolled with him and everything, because my shoulders have been kind of out of it, with all the shoveling and everything else. I've been doing a lot more.
Our kids have been doing the majority of the shoveling. I don't know what he's talking about.
I've been doing
That's
a
why you
lot
have
more
kids, right?
rolling
That was great.
transitionally
Except
from
we
like
suck
side
at it, too.
controls and things like that, and going for those arm bars. But
Mhm.
now I'm flowing wrist locks into them.
That's
Because you
fun.
know how everybody likes to go
Uh-huh.
like this to prevent it and everything like that. Now I'll throw wrist locks in there, and it
Yeah.
opens them up much better.
Sneaky snake.
Or even if they start getting out of it, I've kind of clued in on that more and found ways to then scarf transition from there or something else.
Yeah, because if you got two hands holding onto a wrist, it's harder for them to pull their arm out. Yeah. Speaker.
Yeah.
And then you
Yeah.
twist it.
So is that where you like attacking the most? Because we talked about that last week. Do you like attacking turtle the most?
Probably not.
No, not the most. I definitely enjoyed. My favorite thing is to transition from side control and scarf, back and forth in between. I've gotten so used to going to scarf now that I can tell right away when I go into scarf if I got their arm far enough out and my leg far enough under their shoulder. And if I don't have it there, I'll put a little pressure on until they move and think I'm comfortable sitting there, and then I'll transition right back to the side control.
Pro
Sorry,
tip:
who would
don't
ever
let
think
Joe
that
get
they're comfortable under
Yeah.
there?
Don't let Joe get to
You.
top anything.
Well, they'll feel uncomfortable, so they'll start to try to move out of the scarf by turning their body a little, and so it makes it much easier for me to then transition back to side control and get my
You get
legs
under,
where I want them.
under their arm, under their hip, and then they're turned away from you,
Yep.
and then we're like.
And then I'm in side control attacking the other side, so then they'll leave their arm out more, and then I can transition right
Just
back
try
to
to
scarf.
stay on your feet as much
You
as
can
possible.
just
with
switch
Joe.
your hips back
Do
and
any of
forth
that.
until you catch them in a bad position.
Joe and I are doing mental jiu-jitsu right now.
And Nick's solution to this is always bring up his feet.
Yeah. So is yours.
So's mine.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Maybe it's a male thing.
I don't know.
Well, you're freakishly flexible for a lot.
But I'm bringing up my feet,
So is
my
he.
feet generally to get reversals, and Nick brings his up to regard.
Yeah.
His is very flowy, and he'll use it to move his body around to regard, and I generally use it to move the other person's body.
Yeah.
Unless it's north-south. then I use it to regard.
Yep, but I can't move you, so I got to move me.
So you gotta, yeah, which makes total sense, and it works well.
Yeah, that's fun.
So you get your feet on either side of your head, then you staple there. That's
That's the worst. That's one of my least favorite positions.
So vlog about your week. How was your week?
My week was super fun. I attacked a bunch of loop chokes because I was talking about them last week, and I was like,
Yeah, you got me in a couple.
I
You
got a
got
lot
me
of
too.
people with- and I was like, I missed these.
Why don't you loop choke me?
Huh? It's hard to get to your back sometimes. Like most times. Yeah.
It's a big back though.
Yes. Yes. But yeah, loop chokes. And our friend got his black belt, so congratulations, Josh Janis.
Josh
Yeah,
Janis,
that's awesome.
woo!
He got his black belt, so we had a little event, and we had a bunch of fun rolls.
Mhm.
There was,
Yeah, that was super cool.
yeah.
Going with a whole bunch of neutral ground people. And they were all like higher belts too. I was super nervous going to that because I was like, oh, well, I'm probably going to be the only white belt because it's a black belt ceremony and it's like a limited invite type thing. And I'm probably going to be the only white belt. I'm going to get smashed. I'm still injured. People are going to sit on me. I don't want to go. And Nick was like, you're
Did
going.
that happen?
No. But he literally told me, he's like, I knew you were going to be uncomfortable, so I'm making you go. Like, I don't make you do anything. I'm making you go. And I was like,
Yep.
fine. So I went and I rolled and I had a really fun roll with the brown belt for like probably 10 to 15 minutes. And everyone was very conscious about my chest and was able to stay off, and I was very flowy all
Yeah.
week, and it was really nice. It was really
It's almost
fun.
like higher belts know how to help you.
Nah.
People were worried about going to an event and it was full of white belts.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can find higher belts that are a dick though.
They can't.
Yeah.
They
So what happened
definitely
to your eye?
exist.
There was a brown belt that tried to flying triangle me and just kneed me in the eye.
Mhm.
Then I come over and back.
Isn't it pretty?
I didn't even see it until you just pointed it out.
Yeah.
It's better today. It was
is
pretty red
purpley.
yesterday.
Brittany's been doing my makeup. No. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Had a good time with that. And we got to roll a little bit.
Yeah. I'm finally back on the mats at Fluid. I was only rolling with one person last week, and this week I ventured out again to my crew. So that was cool. Had some fun rolls with Ellie and Joe and Nick, all of these people.
Yeah.
See, you can roll with Joe, and you guys don't get hurt.
Well, okay, so we were having that conversation because
Yeah.
you were like, are you sure you want to roll with him? I was like, I mean, I trust him. I trust him not to sit on
Like,
me.
why?
So-
My response was, why?
And then yesterday, she's like waiting for a roll, and she's screaming out. She's like, anybody? I'm ready. I'm ready. And Joe starts walking to her. She's like, anyone but Joe. I don't want Joe.
But I'm definitely very size conscious. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to put pressure on Nick more
Yeah,
than I am
you can sit
on
on me, it's
Brittany.
fine.
I mean,
So
Yeah.
it is a spouse thing.
you're
It is a
young,
spouse
you're
thing.
flexible,
But
you've got a good amount
I
of
have no
muscles.
issues rolling with Nick.
I have issues rolling with him.
Yeah, so what are your issues rolling with?
Okay, literally just yesterday, we start rolling, and you immediately like start slapping on leg stuff, and I was like, Nick, this is not very flowy. And you're like, oh, we're flowing? I'm like, I've been flowing all week. What is your problem?
You're a bully,
I don't
Nick.
know.
So he immediately went like 50% or harder when I'm rolling 20%, and he knows that
Well.
I'm rolling 20%.
50% is generous.
Still, it wasn't flowy, and you knew I was flowing. That's what I'm talking about. He just wanted to kill me,
Yeah.
even though he knows I'm
He wants to try new stuff. That's probably what it is.
Don't defend him.
I mean, flowing can be kind of boring, and so,
No, what? No.
Whoa.
No, it is not. Whoa. Hold
Well,
on. First of all,
Joe's walking home.
hold on.
Yeah.
For all of you watching, he says that because he doesn't know how to flow.
He might die this week.
He might.
Ooh.
He doesn't know how to flow.
As
You have
a
to under-
huge
not- no, no,
person, I naturally don't do the same amount
I
of
have,
dynamic
I've got a
movements
great
you
idea. Do more core workouts. That's what it, and then you're gonna no seriously. Then you're gonna be able to flow better. If your core is weak, flow is very difficult because you have to support your body weight the entire time you're moving.
do. Or you'll
The
crush
entire
the
time.
other person.
It is your responsibility during a flow to control your body weight. And what it ends up turning into is this like jiu-jitsu dance.
Mm-hmm.
It really does.
Yep.
Like we can do it.
Mhm.
We can do it.
Yeah.
I like
And
it.
go ahead and watch all of your guys' jujitsu compared to mine.
I
You
don't-
guys, all of you make much more flowing movements. And Brittany too. All of you are
There's a solution
make a
to
lot
this
of
problem.
dynamic
You
and
just
flowing
don't
movements.
like it. There's a solution to this
Well,
problem.
do you think the big guys who play
But-
jiu-jitsu are dancing around the small guys when they're doing stand-up, or are they waiting for the small guy to come into their grip range?
I think you're talking.
I
out
could
your
try
butt.
chasing
I think
Nick
he's
around
talking out
all
his
day.
butt.
I would never catch him.
I'm calling
I
bullshit.
can see where he's coming from, though.
Nope, don't you defend him.
And
Whose
like-
side are you on?
half the
Whose
volume
side are
is-
you on?
I'm
have
the
to put
sun.
pressure on
You are
someone
the
else.
earth. You're orbiting me. The sun's not going to
Wow.
catch you.
agree with that one. But no, I get where you're coming from. It's definitely a little bit harder to. I think it would be harder to flow as a bigger person.
Of course it's going to be. 100%.
Yeah.
But don't say that flowing is boring. That's all I'm getting at.
Maybe
Well,
for
I mean,
him
you
it
just
is.
struggle at doing it.
It's not boring. I would rather regular roll and flow though.
I was that way for such a long
I
time.
greatly
though.
enjoy regular rolling over flow.
I think for a year straight, I was like, I don't want to flow. I just want to roll. And
I would
now
rather-
I'm like,
And now you realize
I would rather.
how much more you can get out of flowing than you do out of
especially
an
when that's all I
actual roll.
can do now.
Well, if you're injured with like
Well,
a rib injury
yeah.
or something, you're gonna.
Really, like I find myself having to defend flow a lot because I run the Sunday flows, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
It was one of those things about a year ago. I asked Brent, like, hey, I really enjoy our flow warm up. I get a lot out of that, and I think that it would be very valuable. And he, of course, was always on board with flowing. He'll tell you right now that
Yes.
flowing is extremely valuable to polishing your jiu-jitsu.
Mhm.
So I asked if we could start a Sunday class or time to do that, and without hesitation, he said yes. So it's been going on for about a year now, and I can
Yep.
tell you that my movement in jiu-jitsu has changed
Mhm.
entirely, because what it is a solid hour of movement,
Mhm.
solid
Yep.
hour of movement, and it's constant movement. It's transitional movement. It's like cardio. You get to use submissions, but you're not locking them, and you're allowing your partner to do the escape. So they're getting a rep every time. It's like drilling, but with the transitional movement that you wouldn't have if you were just drilling.
Mhm.
Right.
And it becomes like, I don't know, it's obviously it's called flow, but you actually get into that flow state.
Mhm.
You
Like
really
a
do.
meditative
I would say
Because
exercise.
all the stress of worrying about, oh, I'm about to get crushed, or oh, I'm about to get
pinned here. You
yeah,
can't
I'm
move,
not
have to figure out frames and everything.
smothered. I'm gonna have to worry about getting submitted. All of that, it's gone, and
Mhm.
all you focus on is the clean jujitsu,
Mhm.
and it's actually like a high for me. I love it.
I would
Yeah.
say it's actually harder to do than regular roll.
Flowing is harder to do than regular rolling.
I would say so.
But it's
Which
very
might be,
rewarding also.
which
Yeah,
again,
if you don't have-
and
if-
myself included, this might be why people don't like it as much or put a bad stigma on it, because it is more difficult, and if
Yeah.
you're not good at something, you might not
A
enjoy
well, a
doing
lot
it
of
as
people,
much.
yeah, their initial response is something that they're not good at as well. That's just
Like imagine
That's
you're
why I
doing
didn't like it.
you're doing jujitsu and you're finally just starting to get submissions, and then you're gonna try this thing called flowy, and you find out you suck and you're down here again. Well, I'd rather get
Isn't
better
that
at
a
this.
weekly thing for like every
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu practitioner.
It
though?
does-
Like, oh, I'm really good. Oh, I suck at that.
Yeah.
Oh,
No
bad,
kidding.
bad.
100%, it's a roller coaster ride.
Such is life.
Flowing requires a level of athleticism that a lot of newer folks don't have, and plus, then
Yeah.
you also need the technique too.
Yes.
Yes.
If you don't have the technique, flow is really difficult.
Yeah,
unless
you're
you
like,
have
I
a
don't know
good
what to do
partner.
from here. I don't know
Yeah.
what to do from anywhere.
If you get a good partner, they can guide you through it.
Yeah.
But if they're not super mobile, it'll be. If they're not super mobile,
They're off.
You're gonna struggle.
I love flowing with people because that's where I can like flip and roll the most,
Mhm.
like around people.
Yep.
And they just sit there like,
Yeah.
what
Your
is going
head
on
liquid.
to me?
Yep.
Yeah.
When
It's
I
so
was
fun.
rolling with Austin last week, because it was just him and I, and he's pretty new. He's only been training for about 4 or 5 months, and I was just flowing everywhere around him, and I would constantly just be like flipping under him and moving over and taking his back and then going under and knee shit. Like I was just doing this the whole time, and he was like, "You're water."
Yeah.
Because he's a wrestler too, so he's just like kind of stapled, and he's
Yeah.
got like just within the week of us flowing, his movement has gotten a lot better too. But he was just kind of sitting there watching me move, and he's like, "How are you doing that?" And that's just kind of how
Yes.
flow works. It just makes you move in ways
I love
that you didn't know you could.
My favorite part about flow is the experimental aspect.
100%.
Because you can't experiment normally in rolls because you're going to get caught in something stupid.
Mhm.
But in flow, you can experiment like, I don't know what happens if I go this way. I don't know what happens if I go under them.
Mhm.
Right. And there's no pressure,
Yeah.
to fail.
No danger.
Right. No
No
danger.
danger zone.
Right. It's something else. But if you're listening to this and you're wondering how to improve your jiu-jitsu at a faster,
Just come out to Greenfield,
faster rate.
Wisconsin every Sunday at noon.
fluid flow.
Yeah.
Really, flowing will improve. You don't have to come here, but you could go as long as you're flowing. Seriously,
It's fun.
find somebody to flow with. Maybe not your spouse.
Your
But
spouse
find
might not be
somebody-
very
yeah.
flowy.
Find-
Even her flows can be painful to me because they still involve knees.
That's because I'm not
dang.
flowing with her. I'm being mean.
Yeah. So, what are your favorite things about rolling with me?
You teach me everything that I suck at.
Ah.
You highlight everything that I am just not good at. And I
Yeah.
feel like I get that more with you than anyone else because I feel like you challenge me just because you are the spouse and we are trying to play king of the mat, even though I know you're better. But like you're always highlighting everything. Like, oh, I thought I could defend that. Nope, can't defend that. Got it. Okay. Oh, you just did that move on me for the 17th time in a row. I have to figure out how to change it. So.
Would you say you remember that more against me than against other people?
Probably. Yeah.
Just because you hate that I get to do things that I want to or something?
Pretty much. I would say so. Like when we were rolling in the basement
Phrasing.
ones, and you just kept Americanaing me over and over and over and over and over. I was like, how do you keep doing this?
Apparently I was feeling Americanas that day.
Apparently.
So you guys roll at home too?
Yeah.
Sometimes. When we don't get our full training week here, then we will at home. But most of the time, we just train here. Do you guys roll at home?
We have mat space.
We
I
have in the past,
beg
we have
him.
a lot of blades.
I'll beg him to go roll, and
Okay.
because it always ends up usually mean. He doesn't want it to turn into a fight in
Yeah.
our basement.
Yeah.
So I'll roll with the kids more often than him. But it's nice to have the mats. I mean, heck, I've had Tracy drop in, and we'll have a little open mat time at our basement now that it's set up. But
That's cool. Yeah.
anybody wants to drop in, I got mat space if I'm home.
Yeah.
She
Maybe
might
not anybody.
scream your name when
I
you walk
will.
in, but
I've got to do the appropriate greeting. It means so much, though, when I say your name with all that energy. It doesn't just mean your name.
when you're not here and Tracy walks in, I have to do it for you, but it's nowhere near where it's supposed to be.
It's an experience.
How did that even start?
Ellie is an
I don't know.
experience.
How did that? Who did you start that with?
Started sometime after we changed her name.
Probably after Mason, because all it is just yelling at Mason. And so
I don't know how
just
that
kind of
started.
brought it up here.
I don't think I did it in the church basement because we were in a church basement.
Yeah, you were trying not to yell in God's
I think
house.
then we got out of the church basement, and I'm like, all right. I mean, the Lord's not watching here, right? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, Lord. I know you're everywhere. That's not what I'm getting at. But
Oh, yeah.
no, I think I started the yelling here when we didn't have to worry about being appropriate to our neighbors.
I wonder if
Yeah.
Old Country Buffet actually heard that yelling through the walls when they were
Who
open.
cares?
Somebody
They just
just
stunk up our
eating the
gym
chicken
for
noodle
the past
soup
2
and
months.
OCB's gross.
Oh my goodness, that smell is still there.
That's gross.
There's a poop streak in the
And
parking lot
there's
from the dumpster.
Probably still mice and rats in their feces.
We're next door to
Seagulls
Old
showed
Country
up today.
Buffet. That is
The
disgusting.
seagulls showed up today.
That is disgusting.
Told you.
Old Country Buffet closed because of COVID, and apparently they decided to take none of their food with them. So we're right next door, like literally we share a wall, and our gym has been really stinking up for the
It's
past
been a
like,
while.
2 or 3
Imagine
months.
all
It's
the
getting progressively
food a
worse.
buffet would have in their coolers, and then imagine you're not paying for the power for those coolers, and then that food then rotting.
They had to go in there with like hazmat suits,
Yeah.
is what I heard, and brought it out in a dumpster, and now the outside smells, and it's been like 3 days now, and it's still there, and it's just awful.
Yeah.
So awful. But
That's
it's not
awful.
our Muay Thai gear, so that's a bonus.
I don't think it was. I mean, you could go around in here and sniff everything. I mean,
We thought
with
so.
a caution, sniff
It's-
everything in here and figure out it wasn't anything from inside the gym.
It's
all
so-
right? It was
it's-
coming through the vents. It was just.
It's not even
disgusting.
coming through the vents. It's
It
so
was
bad
when the-
because
when
the
they were-
ventilation here is not shared.
Okay,
Right.
that's not the point though. But when the vents were on, it was pushing more of it in here somehow.
See, we
So-
thought something died in the
There's-
vents, though. We thought like mice were dying up there.
There's
And then we
just
played
small-
dodgeball and people are hitting the drop ceiling. I'm like, well, that dead possum's about to
There's just small holes in the upper drop ceiling wall
Yeah.
for putting electrical wires and that
Yeah.
through, and that small amount of hole is all still that much smells come through.
Yeah.
That's what you get.
That was
Repulsive.
terrible.
All right, so
Anyway.
going back to this
Yeah.
rolling with spouses thing,
Stupid.
what would you guys give people who have not trained together? So let's say like Steve and Karen. Karen just recently started, and what would you give them as advice in order to roll together, especially as a white belt couple?
Steve's wife?
Steve's
Steve's
wife
wife
just
just
started
started.
like a week ago,
She was here last week for Flo.
and
Oh,
she was
was
here
she?
last night. She's coming today, I think.
Have I seen her?
She came to the 6
she
a.m.
was-
class.
She was
She's-
walking across the parking lot when we got here. I don't think you recognized her.
She also
She's
said
in the-
6 a.m.s are going to be probably her normal class, so that Steve can get the baby in the morning. She has to get back before Steve has to take the kids to
6
school.
a.m.?
I did that for a little bit.
Stop it.
You
I
guys
did
are
not.
You guys are
I
insane.
did not enjoy it. I am not a morning
No,
person.
I'm not either.
No, I have to
I,
start.
I was literally cussing them out getting out of bed this morning to get here at 9.
I
Like, I can't.
on a regular basis, I have to get up at 4:45 a.m. for work,
Yeah.
and
you're
I
not a
still
morning
don't like
person?
it.
Oh my goodness.
So,
Still don't like it.
advice for Steve and Karen.
Or anyone.
Or anybody.
Any spouse,
Anybody that's
any
starting.
couple that's want to train together.
Chances are one of you wanted to do this and the other one did not.
Yeah.
I mean, chances are, okay? And if that's the case, you're going to have to do an awful lot of convincing to get your spouse to train. Just keep doing it. Try to get them
Yeah.
to the gym. a lot of it is going to have to do with your gym culture, to be honest.
Yeah.
The gym culture is what is going to draw your spouse in, like, okay, maybe they're not just crazy, like,
Right.
the rest of them are crazy too. That's
Yep.
cool. But, I mean, I don't know, I'm trying to think, what else?
I think
You're going to have to convince them.
I think you have to work with
You're
them at
both-
home,
I-
too. Like, before you can just get them to jump right in.
Yes, that's a great story.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, story
So
time.
when Joe refused to train,
Oh, I got used as an ookie, and I didn't even know what an ookie
So
was.
we're in bed. We're in bed, and I started choking him because
Whoa.
well, hold on,
What?
one step back.
In his
So
actual pajamas?
he's in my guard,
Oh.
and he thinks this is great. All right, he
So
thinks
versus
it's
he doesn't
wonderful.
train jujitsu,
Again, we're
versus being
in
in
bed.
guard.
He's in my guard, and he thinks this is great. He's
Anytime your
feeling-
wife mounts you, you would think it's great.
That's not a mount, Joe. That's the
whatever.
opposite mount.
In
space.
space.
Mount
In
guard are the
space.
same in
Mount guard are
space.
the same. So I've got him in my guard, and he's like, oh, well, this jujitsu clearly isn't that bad, right? And I just reached up. He's like, oh, all right. And I reached up the other side and just, and that was it. He was drooling.
Or
Drooling. He's
the
like,
worst.
It was hilarious.
The worst
It was
one.
hilarious.
The worst one is she comes up to me and she
Thank
says,
you. Shout out to
says, "Touch my
Desiree
boob."
Couliard for that.
She has-
I'm sorry, Marzukowski.
She's standing there and
Marzukowski.
she's like, touch my boobs.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm like, well,
That was before he
Okay.
started
what's the
training.
catch? Okay. This is great.
Yeah, that was
Double
when we were-
wrist lock.
Oh, we
Like,
were in the church basement, and Brett was teaching some self-defense curriculum, and it was a wrist lock, so of course I was super focused on it. So it was a standing wrist lock. It was somebody goes to push you, basically. Someone goes to push you. And it was not a double. But I locked him up with one, and he was on the ground, like, oh my god, oh my god.
Still worth it. But,
Yeah.
yeah.
Good for you guys.
Jiu-jitsu works.
Train at
Yes.
home.
So,
If you train jujitsu and you're trying to get your spouse here, just show them a little bit. Like, try to get them to pass your guard. Like, literally just lay on the floor and have them stand up. And
no, that's probably not the best.
why? That's how I have everyone start here, and they think it's really fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but they
in this
came
setting,
here.
it's
That's
fine.
true. I guess.
At home, you're like, what the fuck is going on?
They think it's like some Cobra Kai bullshit.
So you
Yeah.
think you should just start choking
So what
them
do
at
you
home?
want?
I
It
think
worked
it's-
for me. I don't know.
I think it's tough for one spouse
Yeah.
to be the
And
instructor.
It might be
Yes.
different as well. Like if it's the wife that is trying to drag the husband, you might have an easier time than
Yeah.
the husband trying to drag the wife.
What were you gonna say?
Yeah, I was gonna say, just highlight the benefits and what it can do for them, outside of just like, come
Yeah.
do this, it's fun with us.
How much weight you lose?
Yeah, it's
We're good prime examples of
healthier
that.
lifestyle, more bonding time together. Even though we don't train the whole time we're at the gym together, we just spend more time as a whole together as a family.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We found that we had to schedule basically our family time, which is why it's not just me, it's not just Joe, it's me, Joe, and the kids. We have to do that. So 5 days a week we're here, or at least I'm here. I know your weekends don't always allow you to be, but 5 days a week, usually we're here with the kids, and that is our scheduled family time here at the gym. And granted,
Yeah.
it's not like intimate time, that you need to have date nights and all that
Yeah.
still that are outside of here that don't involve other people.
But
You do still need to have that.
everybody being involved in the
We
same
wouldn't
thing
have time together at all if we
also
didn't
helps.
do this.
I mean, if
Yes. A group
Mason and
activity.
Hunter, if one of them wants
It's
to do
huge.
soccer, the other does baseball, and then they want to
Yeah.
do basketball and band practice, you're going to spend so much time in
Yeah.
the car going back and forth, not really having any sort of family time.
Yep.
It just doesn't work. So
Yep.
all of us going into sort of the same thing that we're having fun with.
Yes.
Granted,
Yep.
you can't force it on people. Like there was a period of time we thought Hunter was like not interested in doing this at all. Hunter has some other issues that we're not going to get into, but no, I mean like legitimate. But he, we thought that this just wasn't for him, and we were just forcing it on him, so we felt bad. So we gave him an out for like 3 months. Like we were repeatedly talking to him, like, hey, if you don't want to do this, we're not going to make you do it. You don't have to. Like, you can still go and be social with people on the side, but we're not going to make you do this if you don't want to.
Like an
And
ad.
it got to the point where he was annoyed. He's like, stop asking me. I'm like, oh, okay. I guess he likes it.
Yep. That's
Yeah.
good.
But I liked what you guys said about how you can't have one spouse be the teacher. So I guess that would be my biggest advice to Steve and Karen specifically, because they are so new starting out. Well, she is, and then he has 2 stripes on his belt, so he's been doing this for about a year, and she's just starting. and I guarantee she's not going to want to listen to him.
No.
Unless they ask for
You
it.
know how long it took to get Brittany to listen to me on
Unless-
anything?
At least a year.
Unless-
I didn't
At
want to listen to
least.
him.
Unless they ask for it, right? Like
Even
if she's
then.
like,
I
hey,
can't
what do you do
stand
for
it.
this?
No, I
But-
can't either.
If I even hear him coaching somebody, I get annoyed, and
Right.
that's
Yeah.
me.
No,
Like it
that's
doesn't,
not good.
like, and I'll say like, Joe, shut up. That's what I'm like,
And-
he doesn't know anything he's talking about. Don't listen to him at all.
If I ever get the brown belt, if I ever get the purple belt, that still won't change.
No, I'll do the same
Any amount of
thing.
coaching
I'll
I
do the
do
same
would be
thing.
dumb.
I'll just be like,
Yeah.
Joe, shut up. That's it.
Yeah.
From across the mat.
And we're not talking about complicated instructions. We're talking about just showing
Like an
basic
Americana.
positions like Americana inside. Yeah, because I have no idea how to Americana. I skipped that step.
Yeah.
But basically, Karen, if you're watching this, if Steve is trying to help you with something, just try to be open to it as much as you
Yeah.
don't want to be. Just try to be, and then when you get to the gym, just completely ignore him.
Don't be a butthead like me.
Yeah.
Well,
Find,
something you
find
do-
someone else to learn it from. Even if Steve is just as proficient as that other person,
Watch
you
his
will
knees.
you will take that instruction so much better from somebody else because
Yes.
they're not your spouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As wrong as that says.
But you
Yeah.
were
They
gonna
could,
say-
your spouse could say one thing, somebody else is going to come along, and you won't listen to anything they've said. Then the next person comes along, says the exact same thing. You're like, oh, okay.
Yep. Like that
Yeah.
makes so much more sense when you
Oh,
say
totally.
it.
Yeah, it's part of like a spouse mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just
But
don't
that's-
want to listen to them.
that's
You
that
don't want to
in-
be told what to do.
It's that infighting though that really is not good though either. And
Yeah.
I know I need to work on that. You need to work on it too, even though you say that you don't.
But it's so nice once you guys do
I'm
find that
very
rhythm.
inflexible as a
Like
person.
they said, they do have good roles. We do have good roles. Like once you find that rhythm
Yeah.
with each other,
Yeah.
it
Yep.
really is fun, and it really does make the bond that much stronger, in my opinion.
Yep.
I am.
But if you had a day, and you know what I'm talking about, ladies. If you had a day and that man didn't do something he was supposed to do,
Don't roll with him.
Don't roll with him.
Just-
Just pass along to the next one. Oh my goodness.
It's funny because we actually just have another couple who does jiu-jitsu together walk right in, and they're probably listening to all of this like, yep, I got it.
Yeah, but it is fun. Like I said, my favorite parts of it is spending time together as a family. We get to do an activity that
We
you know,
both enjoy.
unites us,
Yeah.
that we can push each other on constantly. You know, this is a journey that will never end.
Yeah.
So when we're like 65 and we're at the gym with like coral belts, you know,
That's
we'll
the
come back
goal,
to
is
this
it
video
not?
Yeah.
I mean,
when
that's
that
the goal.
happens.
Mm-hmm.
Is
Yeah.
to be doing this forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Until death. Because
Yeah.
I mean, the fitness level that comes with it, it's all you have in your older age. It doesn't matter like all the money that you put away if you don't have your health. What are you gonna do?
Right.
All that money is gonna go for in-home care.
Mhm.
Take care of yourself now in every possible way because you cannot come back to this moment. Jiu-jitsu is huge for that.
Mhm.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but yeah, those are my favorite things about
That might
going
be
together. as
Brent's
spouse.
ideal way to die. Die
Might be.
while he's choking somebody out.
Just,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
of old age.
Going
not,
un-
not being
going-
choked, but
yes.
choking
Going
someone else.
unconscious and dying while choking someone else.
That sounds interesting.
Sounds like a good dream.
I'm sure he'll weigh in on that one.
Yeah. But, well, you guys have any last minute thoughts about rolling with your spouse? It really is fun. I know we talked a whole lot of crap about it, but
Oh, yeah.
like it really is fun.
It's a loving, you know,
Love-hate
competition,
relationship.
fun
It is.
activity
Yeah.
with your spouse.
Yeah.
It makes everything better.
Yeah.
I
We
would
may
say.
snarl at each other a lot, but
And there's
it's
gonna be-
usually in good fun.
And there's going to be something that your spouse obviously specializes in that you don't use a lot of. So then,
Yeah.
Well, also the
Like,
male versus female
my-
body, like it's totally different.
my
Like,
wrist lock defense, all my ways for getting out of it is learned from one she put on me.
Yep.
Mhm. Yeah.
Totally is. So when
What
other
have you learned to
people
defend from me?
when other people try to apply wrist locks to me, I laugh because I'm like, do you know who my wife is?
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
right? So it's like expert, and then
I
some
do
amateur
other things
comes up.
besides wrist locks. I love omoplatas. I love arm bars. I do all those things too.
Yeah. Yes.
And there's a wrist lock on the end of everything, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
She'll
can-
have you in a
you can-
triangle or an arm bar, and she'll still slap on a
You
wrist
can
lock.
wrist lock from a back take.
Wrist lock the
Trust
world.
me.
But, all right. Well, thanks guys for
Yeah.
coming
Thanks
on
for
this
having
with
us.
us. It was fun.
Yeah, appreciate having you guys here.
Had some good talks. But
Yeah. So I think that's it.
Yay,
Give us a subscribe, a
jiu-jitsu.
like, share, all that fun stuff, and we'll catch you next time.
bye.
Adios.